Let's take a look at flexible working groups. These are small, functionally flexible working groups. They may be temporarily flexible, they might be project teams just put together to complete one particular project, or they might be numerically flexible with the right mix of specialists with their expertise and knowledge coming in to do a particular aspect of a project. Then they disperse, and they can be virtual organizations wherein there is no physical presence, they are all interlinked through the latest technology and they work virtually. Functional flexibility can be of two basic types: multidisciplinary teams and multi-skilled teams. Multidisciplinary teams comprise of individuals from different backgrounds, they bring in knowledge to a particular task of a project. Multi-skilled teams, you have individuals who can do multiple aspects of one particular thing, so that there is no reliance on a certain number of people or a certain group of people to do the task. They can be used to do the aspects of one particular project without any hesitation because they are multi-skilled. Now let's take a look at flexible contracts. What are the forms of flexible contracts? Overtime is the most popular, wherein you pay a premium to your workers to work overtime than the standard number of hours. Zero-hour contracts, wherein there is no mentioning of the particular number of hours an employee has to work. It's 0 hours based on the contingency. You can be used at any point in time to work for the organization. Contrasting to 0 hour is the annualized hours contracts, wherein you have to work for a certain number of hours on an annual basis with a reserve wherein you might be called. This can be a buffer. So annualized hours gives you the particular number of hours minimum wherein you have to work in the organization. Term time contracts to help parents to spend their time in organization during school term time and take a break during holidays to take care of the children. Another significant concept is flexi time, wherein your traditional 9 to 5 concept is given slight flexibility and you can work for a particular core number of hours, say let's 10 to 4. All the people in the organization should be present in that time frame, and the entering and going out of the organization is left to the individuals and the individual teams. Now, what are the issues in flexibility and the challenges for HR folks to devise strategies when having a flexible workforce? You will have to tune your recruitment and selection process keeping in mind the flexible practices and your business challenges. And training and development also, when you are planning for any training sessions or taking care of any development programs for the entire workforce, since they are flexible, the timings are different, the understanding is totally different when it's different from a traditional workforce. So you will have to manage the training and development programs keeping in mind the flexibility involved. Supervision and control. Line managers need to be advised and coached to tell them what is about flexible workforce, how do they maintain supervision and control without impacting the culture. Motivation reward systems also needs to be tweaked so as to match your flexible work practices. Health and safety and other compliance aspects. Flexibility in workplace does not mean you can compromise on your health, safety and compliance aspects. So it is the task of HR, and it's also a challenge to maintain 100% compliance when it comes to the 3 arenas wherein you cannot miss a beat. Now, cultural reinforcement, as I mentioned earlier, the culture of the organization should not be diluted just because of flexible work practices. It should be reinforced. So that is again a typical HR challenge. Now, problem solving, everyday issues and everyday affairs of the organization in workplace, how to solve when it comes to flexible work practices, it's again a HR challenge. Now, let's take a look at a new psychological contract. A psychological contract is something which an employer expects from an employee and what an employee expects from the organization, which forms a contract. Job shift is a new type of psychological contract where you have skill vendors who no longer depend on one particular organization for their survival and career. They offer their services at a premium to multiple organizations and they just move on. They take care of their own resume building, they take care of their own careers, and they do self-marketing. So this is a new breed. Now, let's take a look at employability, which every individual or a professional should strive to achieve in this complex environment where job security is something which we need to take a deep look into. A term which describes a portfolio of knowledge, skills and attributes that enhances an individual's marketability in the labor pool. So employability is about increasing your net worth, your value in terms of your marketability in the labor market, how competitive you are and what is the real value in the labor pool.